Welcome everybody to today's sit down. I am so excited. We've got a big personality in our studio today. He is the 2019 Africa's Strongest Man and holds the African record for a deadlift of 455 kilograms. Mind-blowing. The gentle giant, the man with a small heart, very friendly. Thank you for having the time for us, and thank you for sharing your story. Mr. Chris van der Linde, welcome.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for being here. It's a real honor, and I'm humbled to be invited.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's going to be great. Thanks.
You're still very, very young. You're 31 years old.
Yes.
31 years old. So, if it was possible, snap the finger, in walks the 17-year-old Mr. Chris van der Linde, sits on the couch and, has a discussion with us. What does that young man, what does he look like in his mind? Is he a sporty person? Are you doing rugby? Are you hitting the books? Are you popular in school? Are you the jock? What's going on in your mind at the age of 17?
Yeah, 17. I actually like school, just to start off with that.
You liked school?
I like school.
Beautiful.
Didn't say I liked the book so much, but I like school.
You
I like
school.
sport and like my friends.
The whole community.
Yes. And the 17-year-old me, I wanted to be a rugby player. Well, I was a rugby player at that time.
What position did you play?
I'm not going to say fly half, but
okay.
No, I played prop. I played run and free, so either one of the two.
Okay.
Yes. And like I said, I wanted to be a Springbok. That was the biggest dream for me at that age. I was sporty, and I was a jock, like a proper jock.
A proper jock, hanging out with all your friends, up playing cricket, rugby.
Yes,
exactly. And you're that popular guy.
Yeah, I think if you have to say you're popular, you're popular. You're not popular, but
okay.
yeah.
So he was definitely popular then. 100%. So you're 17. You want to play for the Springboks, you're playing prop, you've got the physique. How do you go into strongman competitions? Do you one day decide, okay, let's at a workout, let's see who can deadlift the most or who can bench press the most in the rugby team, and you were so far apart from everyone? Did someone nudge you into that, or how does that transition happen for the young men and obviously women that are gonna watch this interview?
Yeah, I actually started training when I was 15, started in a gym training, doing weight training.
Weight training,
yes,
okay.
Weight training. And then I played rugby up until I was 21. I played for the Griquas provincial team.
Okay.
And then, one day I was finished with rugby and I was looking for something else to do. I'm very competitive, so I need to compete in something. One of my friends actually mentioned, listen, there's a strongman comp coming up. Let's do it, let's train for it. And I was like, yeah, awesome, let's do it. I used to watch Strongman as a young child, a kid.
Yes.
Then it was on ESPN.
Marius Podjanowski's and
yes.
all those legends, yes.
Exactly, all those guys carrying around the fridges and all that weird stuff.
The big bulls and stuff, yes.
And actually did my first deadlift when I was 21. So
first time you deadlifted?
First time in my life I deadlifted.
Really?
I was 21, yes.
Interesting.
And I think that's
not long ago. That's only 10 years ago.
It's 10 years back, yes. I think it was like a 220, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't remember. And it was actually it was something weird for me, very uncomfortable, because I've never done that in my life.
You didn't understand the posture, the technique,
exactly.
the body positioning yet.
Yeah. So.
And you did 220.
220, yes. Yeah.
Well done.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, looking back now, 220 it's a good way to start off at.
Yes.
I wish I would have started with strongman earlier. And I have to say, if I can pop back to a 17-year-old me, I'll definitely tell him, listen, go with strongman route. I think you're more built for that, and leave the rugby to the rugby players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at 21. You're doing your first deadlift. You're training for the strongman competition. You and your friend.
Yes.
How long did you have to train? And then when you entered, how did the first competition go for you? Was it overwhelming, or was it like, this is Because you're a competitive guy.
Yes,
so
I am.
I'm not coming there to take part. You want to win.
Exactly. No, exactly.
You're there to take over. So how, like describe, before we get to the pulling and the lifting, like what's going on in your mind when you see, because I'm a very small guy compared to you, but competing against guys your size, what does that do to you mentally?
The mental aspect of the sport was quite daunting to me.
Daunting.
Yes,
Okay.
very. Because you see bigger guys, and I don't see myself as big, not at all. I think I've got a little bit of bigorexia, thinking I'm small, but yeah, we'll get to that.
You're a pretty big guy.
But even now, if I see somebody that I see as big, it intimidates me, and it's something I need to work hard on,
Okay.
mentally, just to not to get in the wrong space, like mind space.
Okay.
So yes, first comp, training went very well. We were very happy in the gym. Me and my friend hit it out of the park, pitched up at the venue. Luckily it was in Bloem local comp. Etienne Smith arrived there. He was like 9 times South African strongest man. Just block of a human being, was huge. He's still huge, but just seeing him, like I said, it was intimidating. Seeing the bigger guys. So yeah.
Is he meeting and greeting everyone?
Very nice.
Is he a nice person?
He's a very nice person.
So he's not there, don't look at me, I'm here to win.
No, not at all.
Nice
not
person.
at all. Very nice person. Most of the guys there were actually quite chilled.
Okay.
Most of the strongman guys are quite chilled. I think people have
Thank goodness.
yeah, people have a misrepresentation of any or most big guys. Let me put it like that. We're actually quite just big teddy bears. To be honest.
Chatting to the team, and we had a discussion off camera. I was nervous for this interview. I thought, I'm a pretty placid guy. I like to have a conversation, and I was expecting, this force of nature to walk through the door, sit on the couch, like, yeah, we're gonna do this. You're one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Thank you.
And thank you for being that way. So.
Yeah, no, thanks. I think it's. I need to be this way, being the size that I am.
Absolutely, yes. So. You've got thousands upon thousands of fans. One of our buyers is actually, he's in the gym. He's doing the bench. He's doing the deadlifts. He's a strongman. He was in awe of your presence, and he's a huge fan as well. If you could, talk to the lifting community, and talk to the 13-year-olds to the 92-year-olds, and say to them, if you could go back with one mindset, back to that first competition that you took part in, what will that mindset be, and how would that serve you differently? So if you could take a golden nugget throughout your training and your career, what would serve you well, so that the person watching maybe doesn't need to spend the 10 years to achieve their goals. Maybe they can do it in 7 or 6 years.
I think the main thing will be for me, for myself, is just to believe in yourself firstly.
The belief.
Yeah, believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. I've encountered that quite a lot in South Africa. We have a mindset of we need to step back because we are South Africans. We need to be humble, and we need to be. I'm not really sure what the word is I'm looking for.
We sort of accept that we can't be number one.
Exactly.
I get you.
Yeah, and we need to stop that first of all. And that is what I would tell the younger self, my younger self, and anybody that's watching now. We can be number one. We are good enough.
Beautiful. Love it.
Honestly.
I want to shake your hand for that.
Thanks.
Love it.
And just to be consistent in what you're doing. A lot of the guys, especially in the lifting community, they jump around doing different stuff because they feel they're not getting results. I've been there as well. Luckily, I stopped that. But be consistent in what you're doing and be deliberate in what you're doing. And what I mean by being deliberate is, if you've set a goal, chase your goal. Don't feel your dream or your goal is too big. It's not. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I think that is what I'll say.
Don't jump around. Believe in yourself, you are good enough.
Yes.
And be intentional. If you want to achieve X, if you want to bench press 150 kilograms, deliberately trying to do that.
Exactly.
Do all the research, work for it. Do all the research, make sure that you understand how much rest
Yeah.
is involved, how much sleep is involved, how much
Definitely.
calories are involved to be
Yeah, I
able
think
to do that.
just to sum that up is to invest in yourself and invest in your future in a sense as calories, as training, etc., etc., etc. Because don't wait for somebody else to tell you what to do. Just go and do it yourself and
Beautiful.
invest time in yourself.
Beautiful. Figure it out on your own, because
Exactly.
then you become an expert,
Yeah.
rather than having a theory, speaking about it, but never actually doing it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
No, definitely.
Beautiful. I want to get into your training a little bit, if you don't mind. So obviously it's a lot of stress on the body.
Yes.
Do you lift very heavy every day, or is it a step up? We're lifting hard and then we sort of lifting less for the next couple of days. How does that take place? How do you train to lift 455? We sell cars that weigh less than that. We've got them downstairs in the parking.
Yes.
How do you build up to that?
Yeah, I think just to mention, I've been doing this now for 9 years. So
Yes.
it takes time.
It takes
Everybody should realize that it takes time. I put a lot of strain on my body, as you mentioned, and a lot of strain on my nervous system. It's not only your muscles that's getting fatigued, your nervous system gets fatigued as well. So you need to be mindful of that as well, especially with a heavy deadlift. If I deadlift heavy, let's say 80% of my max, then I need at least 10 days in between before I can deadlift again.
10 days.
10 days.
So if you go 80%, so 80% is over 400 kgs.
No,
Around
that-
400 kgs.
Yeah, around should be around 400. I think it will be 380 around there, if I'm not mistaken.
Then for
Yeah.
10 days, no more deadlifts.
No more deadlift. You still train.
Do you
but
do
don't
reps
deadlift.
with that weight, or you just lift it once, boom,
No,
put it
I
down?
like to train with percentages. So I'd like to set a PB that I want, a personal best weight that I want to achieve, and then I'll work percentages back from there.
Okay,
So-
interesting. So you don't go and hit that in
No,
practice?
never.
Never in practice,
Never.
only on the day.
Another day.
I didn't know that. So you don't, wow. I want to dive into that. So prior to you picking up the 455, you had never done it before?
No, never.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I thought, I've done it 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to just come and pull it again.
No, never. No. The way I see it, if you can just go into that,
Please.
and that's where the mental aspect comes in. You need to believe in yourself. And I believed, my goal was actually 460,
Wow.
to be honest. But 455 was the weight on the bar, and I'm happy with that weight. I'm content with that weight. But that is why you go to competitions, to break your personal bests, in my opinion. You don't do it in gym. I train up until 80% of what I want my personal best to be. So I will never hit a personal best in the gym. Never. It will be for competition. And if I fail at a competition, it's fine. Then I know I need to go back and work some more.
You need
It
to
is what
work.
it
You
is.
need to earn it.
You need to earn it. That's what it is.
And
So,
so just to dissect what you just said, 80%, let's say at 400 kilograms, 10 days before the competition, you're not doing deadlifts.
no, I'm not.
So for 10 days, you are completely, you're still exercising, you're training, you're eating properly,
Yes.
you're taking in all the calories that
Yes.
you need, and then boom, on the day you pull the personal best, and that's how it's done.
Yeah, just to blow your mind a bit more, 7 days before competition, I stop training at all. I don't do anything.
Nothing. You're
Nothing.
relaxing.
I relax.
Give your muscles enough time
To rest.
To rest.
Yeah, you
And-
need rest to recover. So
and
yeah.
strict diet.
Strict diet.
Very
yes.
strict diet.
Yes.
I know with Jean, we discuss calorie intake, and
Yes.
I've lost recently 26 kilograms.
Well done.
Thank you very much. And he's helped me a lot. And he said to me, stick to your calories. If you consume a little bit more on top, in the morning, make sure in the evening you consume
Yeah.
less. So I mean, that's very, very important. Does the calorie intake go up during competitions, or do you keep it flat?
No, it definitely goes up. Closer to competition, it goes up.
That last 7-day period.
No, I'd say about 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
Prior?
Yes, prior to a
Okay.
competition. My calories do go up. And after competition, I drop down to like a baseline calorie.
Okay.
And then I'll
Maintenance calorie,
Maintenance calories, yes.
Okay.
And then as the competition gets nearer, the calories will go up as well. But I just want to emphasize this as well, because I never knew this when I started. You need to eat clean and you need to eat healthily. There's no point in eating a lot of junk food
To gain your calories.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't,
You're just
yeah.
putting a lot of stuff in your body that was not going to assist you in training. And it's
Absolutely.
going to make you lethargic. So yeah, definitely eat healthy. And your health at the end of the day is I mean, that's what we all need. We need health to be healthy. So yeah.
You're a married man. You're gonna have children hopefully one day.
Yes.
You still need to do your thing
Yeah.
until you're 100+ years old.
No, exactly. I still need to bother my wife quite a bit. So yeah.
Absolutely, so beautiful. So I want to go and maybe dive into some of the mistakes that you've made. Your biggest one. Let's jump into the biggest one that you feel, you know, if I could go back, I wouldn't do that. So that perhaps we can, you know, the whole purpose for the channel is so that we can learn from a fascinating human like you what to do. You know, eat clean, do the calories, believe in yourself, be specific about your goal, but also you learn a lot from what not to do. So perhaps avoid doing this.
Yes.
If you don't mind, like off the top of your head, what's
not
the
at all.
biggest mistake?
Personally, I think my biggest mistake was I never invested in myself when I was younger. I should have started doing that earlier. And then secondly, what I just mentioned is the food. I used to think you need to be heavy to be a strongman. And that's not the case. You need to be muscular and healthy to be a strongman.
Okay,
because
not
I was heavy, but I was unhealthy. And you put a lot of strain on your body just by competing. Now, not being healthy puts so much more on your body. And you don't perform at your best when you're unhealthy. And I think that is the two biggest mistakes. Definitely to invest more in myself and to just to be more healthy.
So I mean, food
Yes.
is basically like 80% of it. Obviously, the training is very important, being strategic, but food is probably the most important aspect in a strongman.
Definitely. If you can't eat, you can't be a strongman. And the food for me is actually the worst part of it. Everybody thinks, oh, you get a lot of food, you can eat. It's not
It's
nice.
not easy to digest all that food.
It's not. I've sit with a glass of water and a bowl of food and eat and just force feed myself. I've done that.
Yeah.
And you get for eating a lot of calories for 10 or 12 weeks, you get over it.
It's not easy,
For me, it's the most difficult part. Training is easy. To go to the gym, training is easy.
Same here. I
Eating.
love it in the gym. It's a community. You're greeting
Yes.
everybody. You're high-fiving, like you're looking good.
Yes.
You know, keep it up. But the food is difficult.
That's the difficult part of it. And just to prepare all that food.
I wanted to jump into the food if you don't mind. So
No, anytime.
typically, like, what do you eat in the morning? What time do you wake up? Like a typical day for you. Let's say competition is 2 weeks away, or because 7 days we're not training. 2
Yes.
weeks, so it's the last. We're gonna do 80% of PB.
Yes.
What is your diet looking like? You know, in a day.
Okay, I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to, but yeah.
Absolutely, just as much as you can.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's fascinating.
One thing, I'm not sure if my coach is going to be mad, but I'll say this.
Okay.
I actually eat rice in the morning.
Rice.
Rice, yes.
Okay.
It's part of my diet.
So that's the fiber in the morning.
Yes, and the carbs.
And the carbs, yes.
So, and I blend a lot of my food.
Okay.
I've actually blended rice and greens and steak.
Okay.
I put it in a blend and I drank it like
Okay.
soup. So yeah. But yes, let's start off. Typical morning for me would be I'll start off with 6 eggs, 6 whole eggs.
Whole eggs.
Whole eggs, yes, and then rice, peanut butter, protein powder,
Yes.
and fruit.
Okay.
I'll blend that all together. I'll drink it.
Yeah,
3 hours later.
That's a power shake.
Yes, it is. I think that's around about 1,000 calories, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
3 hours later, it will be fats like avo or nuts.
Nuts. Yeah.
And it will be pasta. It will be meat again.
So more carbs, more protein.
More protein, yes. I like minced chicken,
Yes.
chicken-based minced.
Okay. Minced. Okay.
Minced, yeah, like
Okay.
chicken mince.
Yes.
Nothing to it. It's just it goes down easier for
Yes.
me, and it's not fatty. So
Yes.
I don't like the fat. And then fruit again. There will be definitely a fruit in there. 3 hours later, it will be protein again. It will be carbs again, and it will be vegetables.
Okay.
3 hours later, yeah.
So fruit, then vegetables.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then before training, I'll have another shake. It will be rice, yogurt, oats, protein powder, and a fruit again.
So some more carbs so that you've got that power.
Yes, exactly. And that will be like an hour before before training.
Okay.
Yes, and then at evening it will be vegetables again. It will be, I'll give you my evening meal. It will be, just for quantity wise, it
Yes.
will be 200 grams of vegetables, mixed veg.
Okay.
And
Steamed.
Steamed, yes. It will be 400 grams of carbs.
400, so that will be like a rice or a bread
Yes,
or
I eat a lot of rice.
Rice,
It's
okay.
cheap, and if you have a look at the vertical diet, it digests
easily, yes.
And then it'll be like 250 grams of protein.
So either a steak or a chicken breast
Yes,
or
something
or
like that.
mince,
Yes,
something
yeah.
like that.
Like I said, I like minced chicken mince. I like that. But I'll eat steak as well, but then more like a clean cut steak with
Yes.
not a lot of fat on it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that will be dinner for me. But it's a plate full of food. I mean, if it's 200 grams of veg plus 250 grams, that's 450 plus another 400. That's 850 grams of food.
Of food. It's
Yeah,
a lot
so
of
it's a
food.
plate full.
It's a plate
It's almost
full,
a kilogram of food
and
that
that's
you
your
need to
fifth
consume.
meal.
That's my fifth
That's
meal.
your fifth
yes.
meal.
Yeah.
But then you've obviously burned a lot of that
Yes, during training, yes.
doing your training. And how long is a training session?
It will depend on what I'm doing. I have like my competition training. If I can, for the comp I did now, I had like deadlift sessions. A deadlift session for me would be anything from 2.5 hours to 3 hours long
Per session.
per session. Yes.
Wow, sir.
Yeah. And then
That's incredible.
a regular session, like a accessory work session, should be around about an hour and a half.
That's incredible. 2.5 hours of that pressure
Yeah.
on your body.
Yes. so,
Hats
yeah.
off.
No, thank you very
That's
much.
incredible commitment.
Yeah, well, we have to do it. So,
That's how you become Africa's strongest man.
Exactly.
And hold the record. I
Yes.
hope you hold it for a long time, and I hope the person that beats you is just a stronger, wiser version of you.
Oh, thank you
And,
very
and,
much.
and I know, I believe you will, sir.
No, thank you very much.
It takes a village to raise a man.
Yes.
If you could say, these are the 3 most influential people in my life. And, as we travel this journey through our lives, sometimes someone just touches you and course corrects you a little bit. Who do you think the 3 people are that, I know there's more than 3, but if you could choose only 3, who are they? And how did that individual person course correct you to the fine young man you are today?
I definitely start off, and I'm going to say parents, because both of my parents, and I'll see that as one.
One,
Yes.
okay. So tell me about mom and dad, like
Yes.
backgrounds, what do they do for work, and how they had an effect on you?
Yeah, dad is in construction. He's a road civil construction worker. I don't see him a lot, unfortunately, because he travels.
He's traveling.
Yes. And my mother is a vice principal at a school in Bloem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So strict. I can just pick up strict.
Yeah, she is strict. But actually, both of my parents are quite strict, like real Afrikaans household parents. But yeah, I love them to bits. My mom has always been into training. She introduced me to training.
Wow.
I think we went to the gym with her when I was 11 for the first time.
Amazing.
Yeah, she went to the gym. She was training for something or other. I can't remember what. And yeah, we went with her, and I think that's where the gym bug bit me.
But you
Initially,
did.
yes, exactly. When I was 11. So yeah, not weight training then, but yeah, I was in the gym. And yeah, just their consistency throughout my life and the way they raised us was to work for what you want in life, and to dream dream big. I think that's the most important thing I got from my parents is you can achieve what you want to achieve.
Beautiful.
Then secondly, my wife, she's been a pillar in my career. We've been together now for 14 years, married for 7 years, I think.
Beautiful.
Hopefully she doesn't correct me on that when I get home. But yeah, I think my wife has been, like I said, a pillar. She's always been there for me, and she's always assisted me in keeping the vision clear, if I can call it like that. If I go off track, she'll remind me, but this is why you're doing this. And thirdly is my nutritional coach, Quentin Hendricks. He's come into my life quite recently. We've been together now, working together for 2 years.
Awesome.
But he's got a pro athlete background, and just for his mental toughness, if I can call it that, makes a huge difference for me, and his understanding. I mean, I can call Quentin 12 o'clock at night and say, listen, I'm going through this, I'm going through this, what can I do? And he'll listen and he'll assist me. And he'll give me quite good advice. And he's been on the world stage, so he knows what it takes. He's not in strongman or strength sports, he's a bodybuilder, but still just that experience of having, or the background of him having been on the world stage makes a huge difference.
So I want to touch on that because people don't know how important this is. You've got 3 types of mentors. You've got, in my opinion,
Yes.
You've got a person that knows the theory. So they've read the books. I can go and read all the strongman books that are available, 300-400 books, and I'll know exactly how to train for any regimen that you're going to pick up, and you know, even the kicks, you'll be able to learn the theory.
Yes.
Second type of a mentor, so that's typically, in my opinion, your business professor that's never ran a business but teaches at a college.
Yeah, I understand.
That's that one. Second one is somebody that has worked with somebody like a pro athlete PA, or someone that has spent enough time
Yes.
watching that person do his thing and then watching him appear on stage. And then, what did you say the gentleman's name
Quentin.
was? Quentin. So
Yes.
Quentin is a trifecta because he understands the theory. You won't get on the world stage if you don't understand the theory. And he's actually done it himself, and he's watched other people do it.
Yes.
Phenomenal mentor to look up to.
It is. I'm getting goosebumps now.
Because it's true. If you go and you know, Vince is in our office, and you know, he's in the office off camera here. His father-in-law, he has a doctor's degree in finance, and you know, he will listen to somebody that speaks about finance, but unless that person has made money in a business, he won't take him seriously.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have the moral authority.
Yes.
And that's what he's taught me as well. He says it's fine. You know, if somebody's an expert in a field, have they actually done it? Yes, I will take counsel. No, I won't take counsel from you. And that's definitely a person that you can take counsel from.
No, definitely. Like I said, having him part of my team it's taken me to another level, mentally, and what he knows about nutrition and supplementation. It's just, that's wizardry.
Absolutely, and this is great advice for anybody watching, you know, that wants to learn from someone. Don't just be impressed by the diploma on the wall. You know, the diploma on the wall is necessary.
Yes.
But unless that person has done it, you know, the diploma means nothing.
Exactly. No, that's definitely fully agree with you.
If you could spend a day with one person, who would that person be? Dead or alive? If you could say, here he walks in, one person, and one question that you would ask him. I'm interested because now I'm going to pick your brain. You know, where do you go in your sport, or do you go somewhere else?
There's actually a professor I follow him on Instagram. His name is Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you guys know him.
100%. He's got his latest book is 12 Rules of Life.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to spend some time with him.
Yes.
And there's not really a question I want to ask him. I just want to listen to him. And I like the way he sees the world. I think we've got quite similar belief systems and morals. And like, I just want to see how he operates. That's all. Just want to spend time with him, and just listen to what he's saying and how he spends his time, because I've got a lot of respect for him. So,
I watched a video of him recently where a woman interviewed him and asked him, you eat steak. That's his diet. Have you seen that?
Yes. No, I have not seen the video.
So he says yes. So how's that? He says it's terrible. He says, why do you do it? He says, well, ever since I've been on this diet, I don't snore. I've lost some weight. I'm healthy. I've got energy. And he gives all these benefits because he doesn't go into the chocolates and the processed food and the sweets. So why is it terrible? He says, well, it's simple food. It's not the tastiest, but these are the benefits. That's why I do it. I love him as well. I'm a huge fan.
I think one thing that attracts me to him as well is just his calmness.
Yes.
I like people that is calm or that are calm, I want to be like that as well. Always calm in every situation, and I've got a lot of respect for him for that. And I want to. Oh, actually, that's what I'll ask him.
How do you stay so calm?
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I want to know from
Yeah,
him. So yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Now, as we navigate life, sometimes we step on landmines. You're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. If you could perhaps share with our audience and your fans 3 landmines that you can think of, successful people, elite athletes have stepped on many landmines. You've made many mistakes and you've just been able to figure them out better and quicker than your competitors. That's why you rose to the top. But perhaps aspiring lifters can say, okay, that's a cool tip. Thank you. I'm not going to do that. If you don't mind sharing something.
No, anytime. I need to get back to just believing in yourself. Mindset, yeah. Let's call it mindset. I think it's a better word for it. You need to work on your mental health and your mindset. And it's quite a big mistake I made, especially when I started off. I was intimidated easily, and still now. I feel...
I don't believe that, but...
No, honestly. I mean, I was at the World Deadlift Championships now over
last
the weekend.
Week. Yes.
And I was feeling, when I got there, when I stepped into the arena, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm this farm boy from Bloemfontein. What am I doing in Wales? Why am I here? And
because you're good enough, sir.
Exactly. But just to, firstly it was, why am I here? I don't need to be here. I'm not good enough to be here. And then when I actually stepped back and I realized, but...
You've done the work.
Exactly.
You've done the preparation. You've looked after your nutrition. You've been disciplined.
Yes.
You have put in the hours. You have been strategic. That's why you're there.
Exactly. And we need to know that before. We don't need to step back and say, listen, but I don't need to be here. Or I'm not good enough to be here. Be deliberate and know what your goals are.
Awesome.
That's the first thing. Secondly, is just to be consistent. Like I mentioned earlier as well, I was never consistent, especially when I started off.
Jumping around, doing
Yes.
CrossFit and then doing
I actually
this.
did CrossFit at 120 kgs, running 20 k's a week. My body's not built for that.
Yeah, running 20 k's a week at 120 kgs body
Yes,
weight. Okay.
yeah, my body's not built for that.
Like, no,
And,
impact sport
no,
that. Yeah.
never. I'll never do that again. So yeah, being consistent in your training, and I see it especially with a lot of the younger guys. They jump around doing different stuff. Figure out what you want to do. Take some time. Figure out what you want to do, and then actually work for it and work towards that goal. And if your goal changes in between, it's fine. It's not a problem. But don't jump in between stuff. You're not going to reach your goals doing that.
So answer the question, who do I want to be? I want to be a strong man. Okay, let's solve for that.
Yes.
Not a strong man and on weekends I want to be a CrossFit champ, and then
Exactly.
on Wednesdays I'm going to be an elite swimmer. Who do you want to be? And solve for that person.
Exactly, definitely.
Beautiful advice. I love that advice.
Yeah, I think that's quite a big thing that, like I said, I made the mistake, especially when I was younger. And thirdly is just to just trying to get the right word. Appreciate the people in your team and close to you. I've made that mistake as well, not being appreciative about the people that's rooting for me. And
That's a big one.
you get so caught up with what you're doing and selfish, if I can call it that you forget that there's actually people working behind the scenes and doing their best to make you better.
Beautiful.
And always keep in mind and tell those people, thank you for
Thank
what
you.
you're doing. Either if it's your parent buying your food, or if it's your wife cooking your food, or it's your wife just rubbing your back at the end of the long day.
Supporting you.
Yes.
Say
Be
thank you.
appreciative for those people.
Amazing.
Because they don't have to do that.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks.
Let's get into your first car. I'm going to jump around with a question.
No, that's fine.
Tell me it's a Golf.
It's not a Golf.
Not
it's
a
not a Golf. It is a Datsun 1400.
1400 Datsun. So not a Nissan, a Datsun 1400.
It was a Datsun, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a Datsun, a blue one. I actually love the bakkie.
Okay.
It had a big white canopy on.
Okay.
Um,
And And then did you pick it up and shift it around if you parked it in the wrong spot?
No, actually should have done that.
Not like on the Instagram videos.
No, not like that. Actually, it had a nickname as well. We called it Geelslang.
Geelslang.
Yes, because it was quick.
Okay.
Especially around the corners. If you gear it back and you floor it,
It
shifts
gets so happy.
Yeah.
And what's your dream car?
My dream car, anything that I'll fit into. I'd actually say any American muscle car, like an old muscle car, like a Mustang or something like that. I like the look of them, but I don't think I'll fit into them. So yeah, I think for where I am now, it will be a big bucky, like
big bucky.
American-made bucky, like a Dodge or GMC or whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm a bit smaller, then it will be a muscle car, any muscle car.
Awesome. I was in America recently, and it's absolutely amazing to see this little petite, 19-year-old girl
Yes.
jump into a GMC with the 4 wheels at the back. It's double wheels. And then the seat, my mom's very short, even shorter than me, in this big GMC against the steering wheel. Then I'm driving on the highway in the Uber, looking at this. I'm like, if this girl just looks away, she'll drive over 16 cars and not even feel it.
No,
so I love the American cars.
No, me too. I love the American cars as well. I'm just because they're big. I like big stuff. I need to fit.
You want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I want to be comfortable. I don't want a car seat to be on my shoulder and spilling over into the next seat. So yeah.
What's the best advice that you've ever received as a pro athlete that resonated with you and said, this makes sense?
To stay in your own lane, just to focus on yourself and don't be intimidated with what's going on around you. So yeah, I call it stay in your own lane. Yeah, I think that's the best advice I've ever received.
And what's the best advice that you can give young lifters that want to go and develop the skill? And obviously it takes talent, but the work ethic to be able to pursue a career in your sport, which is, man, it's hard. I can just, from the strictness of your food to 2.5 hours in the gym, what's the best advice that you can give them?
Keep your head down and work.
Work. Do the work.
Do the work. That is the big part of it. And stay humble. A lot of the guys feel that they need to be lifted up and they need to get this and get that. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. No. You need to keep your head down, stay humble and work. Yes. I think that's where my nickname, the Ox, comes from as well. Oxen for me they work.
Yes.
And they keep their head down and they work. So,
awesome. Yeah. Love that nickname.
Thanks.
I love asking pro athletes this question. When you train, you obviously, sometimes you listen to music, I suppose, sometimes you're socializing. Am I right to say so?
Yes, I prefer to have earphones in my ears and just be in my own zone, my own space. Yeah. I don't actually like to talk to people whilst I'm training.
Yes.
Afterwards, before, and anytime. Not whilst I'm training.
Not whilst. But you competed last weekend. What is the mindset a day before the competition? Like, what's going on in your mind? And then, let's say on the morning and when you're about to walk on stage, like, does something happen to you?
Yes, I think the day before I try to be as relaxed as possible.
The whole day?
The whole day. Not think about the competition.
Okay.
And the main reason for that is I get myself into a zone. I like to call it a zone. It's from a book I read. But yeah, into that space, that mental space of the competition quite easily. And when I get to that, my adrenaline starts pumping and all of that. And I don't want that before the competition.
You don't need it before a day before.
Not at all.
You need it on the day.
Exactly. I need it actually when I'm on stage.
Okay.
So I try to focus on anything but the competition a day before.
Like watch a movie, just relax.
Yeah, I think over the weekend, the Friday, I was in the room the whole day. Went down for breakfast and just went up, slept a bit, watched the movie. Yeah, I was very relaxed, doing nothing at all.
Okay.
Just eating and sleeping. The morning of the comp, I'd start getting a little bit more quiet because I like to I like my own space, and I like to be in my own head, especially on competition days. So my wife was with me. Luckily, she knows this by now. So yeah, start thinking about the competition, but not really focusing on my lifts. Just thinking, all right, this is going to be the process. We're going to walk on stage, and we're going to do this, do this, do this. Just get all of that jazz out of my head and out of not to stress about it.
Yes.
And then when I get onto the platform, actually beforehand, everything goes quiet. We had a crowd of 5,000 people at the last
Amazing.
comp. That was awesome. Everything goes quiet. I don't hear anybody. Nothing. It's like dark around me. When I get to the platform, that is all. I focus on the platform. I'll focus on the bar or what I need to do, and that will be that. I'll be in my own space, in my own head, in my own zone. I don't want any distractions when I'm actually walking towards the platform.
Quiet down. All the screaming fans.
I hear nothing.
You hear nothing.
Nothing.
Amazing. Have you had help to get into that type of a mindset, or does it come naturally to you?
Like I said, when I was younger, when I was still playing rugby, I read a book, In the Zone. Can't remember who the authors were.
Zone.
In the Zone. Yeah, actually, they spoke to Naas Botha, Gary Player, a lot of the great South African sports stars.
We'll find the book and we'll make sure we put a link at the bottom of this video.
And then they discuss that process of getting into the zone.
So it's a step-by-step process.
Yeah. And then as you do it, obviously it gets easier.
Yes.
So yeah, that's where it all started for me, and that's where I got to the name of the word as well, getting into the zone. That focused space where everything is black and dark around you, and you're just focusing on what you need to do now. That is where I like to be before lifting the weight.
Boom, you lift it. When you put it down, you acknowledge everybody.
Yes.
Then it's
you take everything in.
Really.
Then it's
Until
awesome.
then it's just
nothing. I think with my 455, you'll see it actually on the video. When I lifted it up and I got the down signal, I had to look at my wife and I smiled at her because I knew where she was in the crowd. But before that, I didn't. I was looking at the ref, and when I knew I got that lift and it's a new African record,
wow!
I was just, the emotion was just, like I said, I smiled, holding 455 in my hands, just smiling to my wife, and it was awesome. I can't really explain this to anybody.
Beautiful.
The same with the weekend as well. It's 5,000 people, lights going off, and yeah, it's just that you chase that feeling. I think you get to, yeah.
I wanna touch on the competition. Is there people that you've ever competed against that have so much presence? Maybe they're not lifting as big a weight as you, but when you look at that person, you're like, damn, this guy's a competitor. Have you ever had that in a a sportsman before?
Actually, I have.
You have. Please tell me.
Yes, 2 times. I went to World's Strongest Man last year.
Yes.
It was in Sacramento, California.
Yes. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I actually got sick. After the first day, I got bronchitis, so I couldn't complete Worlds. It was like an 8-year dream. Going to World's Strongest Man,
When
you
are we
get there,
going
you
again?
get sick. Hopefully next year.
Okay.
It's invite only, so yeah.
Beautiful.
And I met Sejuna Savikas there. He's one of the all-time
wow.
greats in the sport, according to me.
Yes.
Actually, he went up. He came up in the lift, and I was waiting to go down. And when the lift opened, I was just quiet. I was just looking at him in awe. I didn't know what to say. And the lift door was closed again, and I was like still standing there. I just saw Sejuna's. And then in this competition, I saw.
So that's it. Then he went again.
He went again. Yeah, I didn't know what to say. I was just waiting for. I couldn't speak because I was just like in awe about Sejuna Savikas standing in front of me. It's like an idol for me.
Absolutely.
And I actually standing in front of him. I can speak to him and he'll speak back to me, but I don't know what to say to him. So yeah, that was quite embarrassing. But I told my wife and we had a laugh about that.
Did you speak to him afterwards?
Yes, I did. When I saw him again, it was better. Then
so he's like, "You the weird guy that just stayed at me." Like, hello.
Yeah, exactly. And then we actually had quite a good chat. Yeah, with him, and that was quite one of my dreams came true there. And then Eddie Hall, he's the current world record holder.
Yes. He's British?
He's British, yes, unfortunately. No, I'm just joking. I saw him now as well, and his presence as an athlete is just it's amazing.
So how he moves in the room, how everyone interacts with him.
Exactly, and just his professionalism. Everybody sees him on Instagram and he's making jokes and doing this and this and this, but he's not like that in real life. He's I won't say he's a different person, but he's more serious
Okay.
and very respectful, and I'd like to say humble as well. He's on social media, he's quite loud and making noises and going around doing stuff, but he's not like that. He's a professional athlete, and having him there was such a like energy boost for me as well. I mean, the world record holder is actually there.
Right next to me,
He's there.
competing against me.
Exactly, looking at my lift. Actually told me after the lift, "Well done, buddy." And I was
Wow.
like, "Oh, Eddie Hall telling me well done. How cool is that?" So that was quite a pump. But definitely those two, yes, had a big impact on me. Just meeting them and seeing how they operate, how they do stuff.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Let's get into books. You a big reader?
Used to be when I was younger, had more time, but lazy now, to be honest. But yeah, I like to read.
Occupied.
Let's call it occupied.
Occupied.
Yes.
Favorite book outside of the one that you mentioned?
It's actually Pillars of the Earth. It's I think you call it fiction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It's about stonemasons building a cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a book from Ken Follett. It's part of a series of books. I actually only read the one.
Okay.
Thick book. Took me quite a long time to read it. But yeah, just to getting back to the same of keeping their heads down and working. And let's say the dad started off building this cathedral, but he never finished it because it took too long. He never saw what he started. And having that dream of going to work every day, and he knew he's not going to finish that thing by himself. It will be finished, but he won't finish it. But he still had enough, I don't know, should I call it courage or what should I call it, to go into work every day because he knew that this is going to be something he's worked on. And this will be part of his legacy.
Beautiful.
Going around. So I think that book made a huge impact on me. And just to get back to the camp over the weekend, we actually had the chance to visit a cathedral.
Okay.
Not the one they speak about in the book, but just a cathedral in general. And I was in awe because I read about it in this book, and to actually see how big that stuff is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the amount of manual labor that went into
Yes.
that is mind-blowing.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people see you at the event, boom, lifting the 455, competing against your heroes,
Yes.
competing against strongmen that we've grown up to see
Yes.
on ESPN. But not a lot of people understand the 2.5 hours in the gym. They're actually eating 850 grams of food for supper when you've had 4 other meals. That can't be easy. So the work is the thing, man. The thing that people don't see is the thing that makes you look so good and makes it look effortless at the time when they're watching.
And it builds up. I think I've never thought about it like that, but I think that's quite a good correlation with the cathedrals, and I think maybe that's why I like the book so much. It all builds up to, let's make it 60 seconds, if it's even that long.
Yeah.
All the hours, for me it's the years of work building up to a minute.
Yeah.
And you only have that minute to
execute on what you've
execute
spent
and-
so much time on.
yes, and to create a legacy.
But you're a true professional. And I can hand on heart say that you enjoy the process. That's why you do it.
No, I do
You
definitely.
love the process. Like, you know, 6 months ago I started exercising. It's exactly 6 months ago. And when my alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m., for me, you know, I don't say this to anybody else. Like, for me, the win is the time between 4 a.m. and 5 minutes past 4. Because I stood up, I went to the bathroom, I washed my face. Like, that's the win for me. Going to the gym is fun. You know, interacting with everyone. How's it? How was your day?
Yes,
That's the fun part. Eating, it's difficult because you have to meal prep, you have to carry bags around. Well, normally I had my laptop bag, now I've got that.
Cool
I've got
bag as well.
you've got cool bags. but the fun stuff is the stuff that people don't see.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's what makes it worthwhile.
Yes.
And it's a personal journey. For me, it's out and out a personal journey.
Yes.
Like you said, getting up at 4 and actually getting up
Yes.
is a win.
I feel like big ups.
Exactly. And I think the small little stuff makes it worthwhile at the end.
Yes.
Definitely.
And whatever happens in that minute, is just the cherry on the cake.
It is.
And if it doesn't happen this time around because you got bronchitis, there's always next year.
Exactly.
I enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Therefore, I'm going to have fun when I compete, when I get invited.
I think that's quite a thing that needs to be mentioned as well, is have fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
It is fun.
I'm not doing this to because I don't like it. I like it.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, yes it is. But at the end of it, it's still fun. I enjoy doing this.
It switches you on.
Exactly. And when you join something, you just give your best. So that's quite a thing that needs to be mentioned more often.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the journey and enjoy everything you're doing.
Sir, I have thoroughly enjoyed meeting you. I've thoroughly enjoyed, having a discussion around your training, your nutrition, beautiful life lessons that you've given us.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a huge fan. I'm going to be there in the front row. I'm going to be the groupie that screams, Grass!
Oh, that's awesome.
I really, really enjoy your mindset. You are just getting started. I wish you all the best in your career going forward. When is the next competition? When can we see more of you on stage?
I'm in two mindsets at this stage.
Okay, still deciding.
I'm still deciding. I want to break the world deadlift record next year. No. I am going to break the world record deadlift next year. That is the goal, and that's what will happen.
And we're chasing 5:01, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm chasing 5:10.
5:10.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to be 1 kilogram is a waste of time for me. It needs to be 10 kilograms. At least a big bag of rice.
Big bag of rice.
So yeah, that's my focus. Maybe I'll do a couple of local comps, but my big focus is the world record. Yes.
World deadlift record.
Deadlift record, yes. 510.
510.
Yes.
Wish you all the success and the luck and the determination which you absolutely have, and I'm going to cheer for you, sir.
No, thank you, and thank you for having me. It's such an honor, honestly.
It's been a huge
humbled.
pleasure. The whole team was like, Chris is coming, Chris is coming, Chris is coming.
Well, I felt the same way. I'm going. So that's
we
awesome.
are so honored to have met you. You are a fine young man and a true South African hero. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.